My name is Mark Dolfini, and this is the Landlord News Network. Hi everyone, I'm Mark Dolfini. Welcome back to the Landlord News Network. Fans the world over flocked to see Avengers Endgame this past weekend, netting a total of $350 million domestically and an estimated $1.2 billion globally in just the past 5 days, setting new records at the box office. The movie brought people out from all walks of life, including a 42-year-old Minnesota man who rents a room in his mother's basement. Dressed in an Iron Man costume, the jobless basement dweller described the movie as better than sex. Come on, really? As if you would know? In other news, you often hear that people get into real estate because, as they say, they're not making any more of it. Well, that might not entirely be true. The BBC is reporting that floating cities may soon become a thing of the future. The company Oceanics has joined with a UN-backed partnership called UN Habitat, in addition to researchers at MIT and the Explorers Club, to further the idea. The concept involves dozens of hexagonal platforms which would be anchored to the seabed, which could conceivably create a community for as many as 10,000 residents at a time. Ideas are being worked through for waste management, food procurement, water engineering, and energy efficiency. With the world population growing by roughly 200,000 people per day, this idea might actually have legs. Or would that be sea legs? There are, of course, many details to be worked out, to include not just infrastructure, but also police, fire, government, and the most important thing of all, how exactly people will receive their Amazon Prime deliveries. Surprisingly, millennials are giving the most pushback from this concept. The initial thought is they were upset at the impact on sea life and potential damage to already delicate ecosystems. LNN had trouble finding some actual millennials since we were up and out of bed before 10 a.m. We finally caught up to a den of millennials defrappating a lone triple venti half-sweet non-fat caramel macchiato. After several attempts of verbal communication using the words fleek, like, and savage, we finally were able to communicate using a complex sequence of emojis. From what LNN could gather, millennials were most upset at the fact their parents would no longer have basements for them to live in after they graduated from community college. Oregon is back in the news again, this time in the city of Portland. Viewers might remember LNN reporting that in late March, Oregon lawmakers passed statewide rent controls. Well, not to be outdone, the city leaders of Portland are choosing to stick it in and break it off to landlords by adding more stringent rules to how landlords can screen tenants, advertise their vacant units, collect security deposits, calculate damages and other fees levied to residents. Tensions got so high in one meeting, the mayor felt he had to step in and remind council members to pretend to respect critics of policies that have basically already been decided. One such critic of the 32-page policy left in tears, and others in the room felt that this woman was clearly being disrespected. The kangaroo court format is expected to continue on for a few more weeks before a final vote will end the pretend shit show. Since everybody already has their mind made up and the decision's been made, critics have suggested settling this dispute the proper way, well, like with a chariot race or a log throw. LNN learned that the mayor's office took the ideas under serious advisement, but ultimately struck down the ideas, citing both chariot races and log throws as being hypoglycemic and bad for the environment. My name is Mark Dolfini, and this has been the latest segment of the Landlord News Network. You're already used to fake news outlets, so why not one more? I'm not sure the mayor knows what hypoglycemic means.